وسهلا بكم طلاب الصف الثاني الإعدادي في حلقة جديدة من حلقات مادة الساينس تحت إشراف وزارة التربية والتعليم. In the previous session, we already talked about the last unit in our curriculum, which was talking about the fossils and extinction. And today we are going to make a revision about the whole curriculum and try to practice and solve more types of the questions. Okay, so today we are going to make a revision about the whole units. Let's start with the first type of the questions here, which is write the scientific term. The first one here, the most active metal. Do you remember the most active metal in the modern periodic table? It was called what? It called cesium. The second one, a gas that is used in cornea preservation. Do you remember the name of the gas that we use it in cornea preservation? It was called what? Called liquefied nitrogen. تمام. The third one, the non-metal elements are not exist in nature in elementary state. It's a type of non-metals. احنا قلنا ان هي they cannot exist in elementary state in the nature. They are called what? They are called halogens. They are diatomic elements. يعني الموليكيول بتاعهم consist of two atoms. Okay, like do you remember them? The fluorine, chlorine, iodine, bromine. All of them, they are called halogens, and they are type of non-metals which cannot exist in nature in elementary state. Number 4, the element which has the largest atomic size. The largest atomic size, it's the cesium. And do you remember the smallest atomic size in the modern periodic table? It's called what? It's called fluorine. So again, the element which has the largest atomic size is cesium, and the one that has the smallest atomic size, it's called what? It's called fluorine. Number 5, group of elements react with water forming alkaline solution. Group of elements react with water forming alkaline solutions. They are called alkali metals. And did you remember we said alkali metals, they are exist in S block in the modern periodic table. يعني هم موجودين في group 1A in S block. Number 6, bond responsible for the abnormal property of water molecules. احنا قلنا ما بين الwater molecules في type من البونز اسمها ايه؟ اسمها hydrogen bond. And the hydrogen bond exists between the water molecules due to the higher electronegativity of oxygen compared with the hydrogen. وقلنا ان الهيدروجين بوند اللي موجوده ما بين الواتر molecules دي هي responsible for the abnormality of water properties اللي هي ان الwater boils at 100 Celsius degree and it freezes at 0 Celsius degree. Number 7, kind of water pollution results from discharging of factories' wastes. When the factories discharge their wastes in the water, they causes what? They cause a chemical water pollution. Okay. The angle between the two covalent bonds in water. احنا قلنا الwater molecule consists of one oxygen atom and two hydrogen atoms. تمام. والtype of the bond between oxygen and hydrogen, it's called what? Single covalent bond. والangle between the two single covalent bonds in the water molecule, it equals what? 104.5 degree. Number 9, the bond which links the molecules of water. I'm going to ask you about the hydrogen bond in a different way. The bond which link the molecules of the water together, it's called what? It's called the hydrogen bond. Number 10, pollution causes rises in the water temperature. Do you remember the pollution that cause increase in the water temperature? It's called what? It's called thermal water pollution. وكنا قلنا ان thermal water pollution, it happens due to the nuclear reactors when they use water of seas or oceans to cool the nuclear reactor. And the thermal water pollution here, it causes what? Death of marine organisms. قلنا ليه بيحصل death of marine organisms? Because the hot water makes, أو the higher temperature in the water, it causes what? Separation of oxygen gas from the water. الأكسجين that dissolve in the water بيحصل له separation. فبالتالي living creatures that live in sea أو the ocean, they cannot find oxygen to breathe. فبالتالي بيحصل لهم إيه؟ They are going to die. Okay. Number 11, an element used in liquid state inside the nuclear reactor. Which element we use it in a liquid state inside the nuclear reactor to transfer the heat from inside the reactor to outside? It's called what? Liquid sodium. So we use the sodium in a liquid state inside the nuclear reactor. Do you remember why? to transfer the heat from inside the nuclear reactor to outside عشان طبعا الصوديوم is good conductor of heat أو thermal conductor. طيب 12 an instrument used in water electrolysis. Do you remember the water electrolysis؟ احنا بنعمل ايه في الwater electrolysis to separate the water component اللي هما الأكسجين and hydrogen. واحنا لما نحب نفصل الكومبوننت بتاعت الواتر into hydrogen gas لوحده والأكسجين جاز لوحده بنعمل حاجة اسمها water electrolysis. بنستخدم electricity أو electric energy to separate the component of the water. طيب the name of the device that we use it in the water electrolysis, it's called what? It's called the Hofmann's voltmeter. It's called what? Hofmann's voltmeter. The next one, an element used in the preservation of cornea of the eye. We said it's called what? Liquefied nitrogen. طيب the positive pole in Hofmann's voltmeter. احنا قلنا ال Hofmann's voltmeter consists of two poles. One of them is a positive and the other one is negative. And the one with a positive charge, it's called anode. It's called anode. طيب kind of water pollution results from human activities. أي حاجة related بالhuman activity causing water pollution بنسميها ايه pollutant دي؟ They are called artificial water pollutant أو artificial water pollution. الwater pollution هنا حصل due to the human activity نتيجة إن احنا throwing our wastes in the water أو due to the using technology فبالتالي في gases بتخرج فبتلوث الواتر. كل دي بتحصل بسبب ايه؟ بسبب الهيومن activity. مثلا building the factories near to the water او using the nuclear reactors. كل دي حاجات بتؤدي للتلوث المية وبتكون بسبب الإنسان فبنسميها artificial water pollution. طيب the addition of any substance to water that causes a change in the water properties and affect on living organisms' health. The addition of any substance to the water يعني throwing anything to the water. وطبعا بسبب ده بيحصل a change in the water properties. البروبرتيز بتاعت المية بتبدأ ان هي تتغير وبالتالي ده بيأفكت على ال living organisms' health فبالتالي احنا بنعمل حاجة اسمها ايه؟ It's called water pollution. طيب it's an element used in food preservation. Do you remember when we talked about the elements and the uses of some elements in the periodic table؟ قلنا ان احنا عندنا في element used in food preservation and it's called cobalt 60. وقلنا ساعتها ان هو it's used in food preservation because it emits type of the rays, it's called the gamma rays that stop the reproduction of microbes inside the food without any effect on the human health. Okay, so the element used in food preservation, it's called cobalt 60. طيب 18, a water pollutant that causes death of brain cells. Water pollutant because death of brain cells. It's called what? It's called lead. And do you remember when we talked, طبعا of course the lead here, it's one of the types of the chemical pollutant that causes chemical water pollution. وقلنا ان الليد because death of brain cells. وكان في كمان mercury it causes what? Blindness. arsenic it causes what? Increase in the liver cancer rate. So again lead causes death of brain cells. mercury causes blindness. arsenic causes what? Increase the rate of liver cancer. all of them they are caused due to the chemical water pollution. Okay, type gas which evolves at cathode during the water electrolysis. Cathode is the negative pole of Hofmann's voltmeter and the gas evolves at the cathode. It's called what? Hydrogen gas. And the gas evolves at the anode. Do you remember? It's what? It's oxygen gas. يبقى in Hofmann's voltmeter we use it to separate the component of water from each other اللي هو الأكسجين والهيدروجين. Hydrogen evolves at cathode pole and oxygen evolves at anode pole. And do you remember when we said how to detect that this is hydrogen by approaching a glowing splint? الهيدروجين causes أو الهيدروجين بيحصل له burn with a pop sound. لكن الأكسجين cause increase in the glowing of the splint. طيب 20, it's a halogen in a liquid state. It's called bromine. So bromine is the halogen in a liquid state. 21, a kind of ions which are formed by alkali metals during chemical reactions. طيب الالكالي metals during the chemical reactions they are metals. يعني ال outermost energy levels contains what? 1 electron. Okay, because they are alkali metals يعني group 1A. فالoutermost energy level في only 1 electron. during the chemical reaction this element try to lose the electron in the outermost energy level, and in this case they form what? They form positive ion. So when the element lose electrons, it form what? Positive ion. Okay, but when the atom gain electrons, it form what? Negative ion. طيب, the atmospheric layer that contains a limited amount of helium and hydrogen gases only, we said the mesosphere layer. It's called the vacuumed layer because it contains what? Limited amount of hydrogen and helium gas. وكنا بنقول إن الميزوسفير it has a very important role in يعني protect the earth planet from the rocky masses that coming from the space due to بتعمل لها يعني it burn the rocky masses دي due to the reaction due to the friction between the rocky masses and the air particles causing what it's completely burn. تمام, before طبعا falling on the earth surface. The continuous increase in the average temperature of the earth surface, this is called what? This is called the global warming phenomena. Do you remember global warming phenomena? We said that it's caused due to the continuous increase in the earth temperature, specifically في troposphere layer. Okay, and we said the global warming, it happens due to the increase in the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Okay, and you remember the greenhouse gases, they are carbon dioxide gas, water vapor, and we said chlorofluorocarbon compound, methane gas, nitrous oxide. They are called greenhouse gases, and they are responsible for the greenhouse effect, which increase the average temperature of the earth, causing global warming phenomenon. Type 24, the gaseous envelope which surrounds the earth and it's rotating with it, and we said it's called what? It's called atmospheric air or atmospheric envelope, and it's surrounded with earth due to the what? Due to the gravity. Type 25, the weight of air column of an atmosphere height above ionic area. The weight of air column of the atmosphere in ionic area, this is called what? This is called atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure, and we said the normal atmospheric pressure it equals 1013.25 milli bar, وكنا بنسميه النورمال atmospheric pressure at the sea level. Okay, طيب, وقلنا الاتموسفيريك air it extend أو atmospheric envelope it extend 1000 kilometer above the sea level. Okay, and its weight it's called what? Atmospheric pressure. طيب, an atmospheric layer in which air moves horizontally. The air moves horizontally in which layer? In the stratosphere layer. And we said as the air in this layer moves horizontally, it's suitable for the aeroplanes to fly in the lower part of stratosphere because the air moves horizontally and there is no clouds in this layer. The hottest atmospheric layer, it's called thermosphere. It's called what? Thermosphere. And do you remember its temperature? It equals what? 1200 Celsius degree. And the coldest atmospheric layer, it's the mesosphere. So we have coldest atmospheric layer is mesosphere. The hottest atmospheric layer, it's called the thermosphere. Mesosphere, its temperature was -90 Celsius degree. The death of all members of a certain species of living organisms. When we have a certain species and all the members of this species die out, in this case we are going to say that they are extinct. So the name of the definition, it's called what? Extinction. So the death of all members of a certain species of living organism, it's called what? It's called extinction. Like dinosaurs, like mammoths, all of them, they are extinct living organisms. Two magnetic belts that help in scattering of harmful cosmic radiations away from Earth. احنا قلنا two magnetic belts دول surround the ionosphere layer and they help in scattering the harmful cosmic radiations away from Earth, and they are called Van Allen belts. They are called what? Van Allen belts, and they are magnetic belts surround the ionosphere layer. Phenomena that appears as brightly colored light curtains seen from the both poles اللي هو النورث بول والساوث بول of Earth, it's called what? Aurora phenomena. and this phenomenon it's happened due to the scattering harmful cosmic radiations coming from the space away from the earth by Van Allen belts. فبالتالي هنبدأ نشوف الأرورا phenomena in the sky specifically عند ال two poles اللي هو ال north pole of the earth وال south pole of earth. Okay, 31. The region in which the atmospheric envelope is inserted with the outer space. The last layer أو the last region أو هي the last part in the thermosphere layer بنقول عليها اسمها exosphere and it's the region in which the atmospheric envelope is inserted in the outer space. وكنا بنقول إن ال exosphere is the place where the satellites revolve around the earth. Okay, so again satellites revolve in exosphere layer which is the region in which the atmospheric envelope inserted with the outer space. طيب 32. It's a safe area established to save endangered species. كنا بنقول endangered species يعني الكائنات المهددة بالانقراض. To protect them we have to establish a safe area بنسميها natural protectorate to keep them away from any danger and keep them from extinction. Okay, like do you remember the natural protectorate here in Egypt? We have Ras Mohammed protectorate ووادي الحيتان protectorate. طيب a type of ultraviolet radiation that is absorbed by a percentage 95% by ozone layer. احنا قلنا we have three types of ultraviolet radiations. We have near ultraviolet radiations, medium ultraviolet radiations, and the far ultraviolet radiations. Which one of them is absorbed by a 95%? It's called medium ultraviolet radiation. وطبعا ال near ultraviolet radiations all of them they penetrate ozone layer وال far ultraviolet radiations they are absorbed by percentage 100% and they don't penetrate the ozone layer. 34. An atmospheric layer at which the air moves vertically. قلنا ال air move vertically يعني up and down in troposphere layer وكنا بنقول إن ال air بيتحرك vertically because we have hot air and cold air. ال hot air it has low density so it moves upward وال cold air it has high density فبالتالي it moves upward and it causes the air to move vertically up and down. طيب 35. A type of ultraviolet radiation that is absorbed completely يعني 100% by the ozone layer. احنا لسه قايلين حالا ان ال ultraviolet radiation that is absorbed completely by ozone layer it's called what? It's called far ultraviolet radiation. Ionit that measures the degree of ozone. احنا قلنا ال degree of ozone it's measured by a unit called Dobson and it's relative to the scientist Dobson which estimate that a thickness of ozone layer can be أو can equal 3 millimeter at normal atmospheric pressure and standard temperature اللي هي 0 Celsius degree والnormal atmospheric pressure اللي هو 1013.25 ملي بار. فدوبسون افترض assumed ان ال thickness بتاع الأوزون instead of being 20 kilometer it can be compressed into 3 millimeter. بس ده امتى؟ at the normal atmospheric pressure و standard temperature. طيب an area where the atmospheric envelope is inserted in the outer space قلنا دي it's called it's called exosphere. 38. A device used to measure the elevation above the sea level. ايه الديفايس اللي احنا بنستخدمه specifically in the aeroplanes to measure the elevation, the suitable elevation or the suitable altitude above the sea level? It's called it's called altimeter. It's called what? Altimeter. Altimeter is a type of the parameters which is used in what aeroplanes to determine the suitable elevation above the sea level for the planes. And do you remember the name of the other device which is called aneroid and it's a type also of parameters but used to measure the possible day weather based on the atmospheric pressure. طيب 39. Decrease in the thickness of ozone layer. قلنا لما بيحصل decrease of thickness of ozone layer أو losing parts of ozone layer it's called ozone hole. It's called what? Ozone hole. طيب question 40. The region between troposphere and stratosphere. احنا قلنا طبعا احنا عندنا الاتموسفيريك layers they are 4 troposphere layer و stratosphere layer, mesosphere and thermosphere, and between each two layers we have a region. It's called what? It's called the tropopause أو stratopause, and it's named related to the lowest layer، يعني اللاير الأولانية. يعني هنا لما هقول between troposphere and the stratosphere, so it's going to be named related to the first layer here which is troposphere، فبالتالي هيكون اسمها ايه؟ tropopause. A charged layer which reflects radio waves, it's called what? It's called the ionosphere, and it exists specifically in the thermosphere layer, and it's called the ionosphere because it contains what? Charged ions. ولا ان هي طبعا it has a very important role in wireless communication. okay, قلنا radio stations emits radio waves, and when they reach to the ionosphere layer, ionosphere بتعمل لهم ايه؟ reflect again. ولما بيحصل لهم reflect we are going to receive them on our devices اللي هو الراديو عندي في البيت، فاقدر اسمع البرنامج live. okay. طيب a gas which is important for building ozone gas. احنا قلنا الأوزون it's formed due to the oxygen molecule absorb the ultraviolet radiation, and the ultraviolet radiation it breaks down the double covalent bond between the oxygen molecules. okay, and giving two freely oxygen atoms. وبعد كده الفريلي oxygen atom دي بتروح تكومباين مع another oxygen molecule عشان تديني الأوزون gas. يبقى مين الجاز which is important for building ozone gas؟ oxygen gas. يعني without having oxygen فأكيد مش هيكون عندنا ozone gas. طيب the table in which elements are arranged according to their atomic number هيكون مين؟ طبعا Moseley's periodic table. احنا أخدنا again من البداية خالص كان عندي Mendeleev's periodic table، وقلنا Mendeleev عمل arrangement للelements according to their atomic weight، لكن Moseley he arranged the element according to their atomic number. طب ليه ما قلتش modern periodic table؟ ما احنا قلنا modern periodic table arrange the element according to their atomic number and the way of filling the energy sub levels. يبقى أنا إمتى أقول Moseley periodic table وإمتى أقول modern periodic table؟ لو أنا كنت كملت وقلت they are arranged according to their atomic number and the way of filling the energy sublevels, so in this case I'm going to say the modern periodic table, but here according to their atomic numbers بس، فبالتالي هيكون Moseley's periodic table. Okay, 44 group of elements found in the periodic table and includes 10 vertical columns. احنا قلنا in the middle of the periodic table we have D block and it consists of 10 vertical groups or 10 vertical columns, and it includes a type of elements, and they are called what? They are called transition elements. The measuring unit of atomic radius, which is used as a measurement for the atomic size, it's called what? Do you remember? It's called picometer, and it equals 1 times 10 power negative 12 من المتر. The curved lines that join the points of equal pressure in atmospheric pressure maps, they are called what? They are called isobars. So the isobars, they are the curved lines in the atmospheric pressure maps that join the point of equal pressure in a specific area. طيب, the region between stratosphere and the mesosphere layer at which temperature remains constant. احنا قلنا the name of this region it's according to أو related to related to the first layer اللي هي هتكون stratopause. طيب 48 a type of ultraviolet radiation that penetrates the ozone layer by a percentage 100%. All of this layer all of this type of ultraviolet radiation can penetrate ozone layer, and we said it's called it's called near ultraviolet radiation. طيب, one of the components of the atmosphere that its percentage increased in recent years causing the greenhouse phenomenon. احنا قلنا مين الجاز اللي البرسنتج بتاعته زادت في السنين اللي فاتت دي وبيسبب الجرينهاوس phenomenon. It's called carbon dioxide gas. طيب, the inert gas which has the same electronic structure of sodium ion. احنا عارفين ان الصوديوم الاتوميك نمبر بتاعه 11، so ده يعني 2 و 8 و 1. Sodium ion is going to lose the 1 electron in the last energy level, so it become 2 8, and 2 8 is the electronic configuration for the inert gas neon. Type oxides which dissolve in water producing alkali, they are called what? Basic oxides. Basic oxides, they are metals react with oxygen forming metal oxides, and when they dissolve in water producing alkali because they are called basic oxides. طيب, the halogen which exists in a solid state, it's called a iodine. So we have fluorine, chlorine, they are halogens in gas state. We have bromine is halogen in a liquid state, and we have iodine is halogen in a solid state. The kind of rays which are emitted from the cobalt 60, احنا قلنا cobalt 60 used in food preservation because it emits a gamma rays. طيب, the metalloid which is used in the manufacture of electronic devices, احنا قلنا بنستخدم في electronic devices slides of silicon because it's good conductor of electricity at high temperature. Okay, so silicon is a metalloid. Do you remember metalloid? Metalloid is a group of elements that have the properties of metals and non-metals, and the silicon is one of them, which is used in a manufacture of electronic devices. Type 55, it's a series in which metals are arranged in a descending order according to their chemical activity. احنا قلنا بنعمل arrangement in a descending order, يعني from the strongest metal to the weakest metal according to their chemical activity, وبنسميها chemical activity series. Okay, طيب, they are non-metallic oxides which dissolve in water forming acidic solution. يبقى non-metals when they react with oxygen they form acidic oxides. So when they dissolve in water they are going to form acidic solutions. طيب, the part of a million part of meter, احنا قلنا مين ال part of million part of meter, and it's the measuring unit of the atomic radius, it's called a picometer. طيب, 58, the first real periodic table for classifying the elements, it's called Mendeleev's periodic table. 59, the vertical columns in Mendeleev's table. Vertical columns in Mendeleev's periodic table, they are called groups, and the horizontal rows they are called periods. The horizontal rows in the Mendeleev's periodic table they are called periods. Type. Now we are going to move to another type of the questions. Who? We are going to say a name of the scientist who discovered or he added. Let's start with the first one. Who made the first real periodic table? قلنا مين أول scientist عمل the first real periodic table؟ كان اسمه Mendeleev. So Mendeleev is the scientist who made the first real periodic table. طب who predict the discovery of new elements and corrected the atomic weights of some elements؟ طبعا of course ده كان مين برضو؟ Mendeleev. Who published his book Principles of Chemistry؟ احنا قلنا he made the first real periodic table and published it in his book which is called the Principles of Chemistry. طبعا ده مين برضو؟ Mendeleev. طيب, who discovered that the nucleus of the atom contains positively charged protons? Who discovered the positive protons in the nucleus? It's called Rutherford. So Rutherford is a scientist who discovered that the nucleus contains positive protons. طيب, who added the zero group؟ طبعا this is Moseley. Who discovered the main energy levels؟ اللي اكتشف ان احنا عندنا 7 energy levels for the heaviest known atom. It's called Bohr. Okay, another type of the questions, choose the correct answer. You are going to choose the correct answer. The first one, space fossils are found in the limestone rocks of المقطم mountain. احنا قلنا المقطم mountain has type of the fossils in its limestone rocks. It's called nummulites, and this indicate that المقطم mountain was sea floor from 35 million years ago. احنا قلنا وجود النيوملايت فوسل في اللايمستون روكس بتاعت المقطم ماونتن قالت لي ان المقطم كان كان عباره عن سي فلور، يعني بحر، يعني القاع بتاع البحر من 35 مليون years ago، من 35 مليون سنه فاتت. طيب the next one, the life started first in احنا قلنا the life started to appear first in seas and after that it started to appear on land. طيب space is an example of microfossils. Microfossils like قلنا foraminifera and radiolaria. So here we have in the choices foraminifera, so we are going to choose it as example of microfossils, and when we find the microfossils in this soil we are going to say that, or we are going to yes يعني recognize that this soil is a suitable place for formation of petrol. طيب number 5, the first vertebrate appeared on earth is what is the fish. Fish is the first vertebrate that appear on earth surface. and طبعا قلنا الfish is followed by amphibians, and then amphibians followed by reptiles, and after that we have birds and the mammals. They are appeared at the same time. The complete body fossil of mammoth is found preserved in قلنا الماموث after its death it's rapidly buried in a medium preserve it from decomposition, and this medium was snow. طيب what is the kind of fossil that is formed when a plant leaf falls on a soft sedimentary rock at the beginning of formation then hardening. احنا عندنا leaf of the plant it falls on a soft sedimentary rock. وقعت على صخرة لسه بتبدأ ان هي تتكون فهي لسه soft. فبالتالي the kind of fossil here is what. الورقة دي لما وقعت على السedimentary rock هي هتعمل هتسيب الانترنال ديتيلز بتاعتها ولا الاكسترنال ديتيلز؟ طبعا the leaf is going to leave the external details، او هتطبع الاكسترنال ديتيلز بتاعتها على السedimentary rock وهتكون لي نوع من الفوسلز اسمها cast fossils. So here we are going to choose cast. طيب when mud fill up the shell activities and solidify then the shell decomposes, what is produced؟ لما المد او السيدمنتس هتبدا تدخل جوه الشيل بتاعه الكائن ده وبعد كده يحصل لها solidification والشيل after that هيحصل لها decomposition وهتسيب لي الريبليكا بتاعه الانترنال ديتيلز بتاعه الكائن ده، يبقى في الحاله دي انا كونت انهي تايب من الفوسلز؟ احنا هيكون عندنا mold fossils. يبقى again if we have a replica for external details of a living organism so we are going to form cast fossils. لكن لو احنا عندنا internal details replica for the internal details of living organism يبقى احنا عندنا mold fossils. طيب fossils are important for all of the following except what؟ طبعا المرة اللي فاتت اتكلمنا على الفوسلز والimportance of the fossils. قلنا أول حاجة it help us to determine of the sedimentary rocks age، فأول واحدة is already right. طيب do you think it help in studying the kind of metals؟ Of course no, the fossils is not related to the metals. طيب it help in petroleum exploration؟ Yes. Help to figure out the paleo environment؟ Yes. So the except here is what studying the kind of metals. طيب now we have another type of questions. It said what do the following numbers indicate؟ What do the following numbers indicate؟ Let's start with the first one. 300 Dobson. احنا قلنا 300 Dobson is what the normal degree of ozone layer. Again it's what the normal degree of ozone layer. طيب 104.5 degree دي كانت الانجل between the covalent bond in the water molecule. احنا قلنا الwater molecule consists of one oxygen combined with two hydrogen atoms ب two single covalent bond والانجل ما بينهم بتساوي كام؟ 104.5 degree. طيب third one 113.25 millibar and this is represent the normal atmospheric pressure. It represent what؟ normal atmospheric pressure وسميناه normal atmospheric pressure عشان بيكون عند sea level. طيب number 4 13 kilometer height is what؟ It's the thickness of troposphere layer. 37 kilometer it's what؟ thickness of stratosphere layer. يبقى تاني ال thickness of the troposphere layer is 13 kilometer وال thickness of stratosphere layer is equal what؟ 37 kilometer. طيب what about negative 90 degree Celsius؟ negative 90 degree Celsius it represent what؟ أو indicate It indicate the temperature at mesosphere layer. Temperature at mesosphere layer. طيب 35 kilometer it's the thickness of mesosphere layer. يبقى تاني التروبوسفير its thickness is 13 kilometer, stratosphere 37 kilometer, mesosphere is 35 kilometer. طيب what about 590 kilometer? It's the thickness of thermosphere layer. Okay. طيب now put right or wrong. Let's read the first sentence here. the chemical elements have been categorized in a table too easy it's studying. احنا حاطين ال elements دي already وعملنا لها classification أو arrangement in tables to be easy for studying. طبعا of course A right. The second one, the elements with the same physical and chemical properties have been put in horizontal rows. احنا قلنا ال elements they are arranged in groups according to A according to the similarities in their physical and chemical properties. فبالتالي هنا هتكون A wrong. Instead of horizontal rows مفروض تكون A vertical columns أو groups. طيب the third one, the number of recorded elements in Mendeleev's table about 103 elements. احنا قلنا مندليفز كان ساعتها عنده 67 elements بس. فالperiodic table بتاع مندليف كان it includes how many elements? Includes 67 elements only. So this is wrong. طيب number 4, Mendeleev discovered that the properties of elements were repeated periodically by the beginning of each new group. طبعا غلط. احنا قلنا the properties of the elements repeated the beginning of each new period as the periodic table start from metals. بعد كده الميتاليك property بيحصل لها decrease. We have metalloid non-metals and after that the period ends with inert gas أو noble gas. طيب number 5, Moseley classified elements of each group into 2 subgroups. موسلي هو اللي عمل classify للجروب الواحدة into 2 subgroups A و B. طبعا غلط. This is wrong because Mendeleev who did that. Mendeleev who classified the elements of each one group into 2 subgroups. طيب the number of known elements till now is 92 elements. طبعا this is wrong. We have 118 elements. But 92 is representing what the natural or the number of elements that are found in the nature. Okay. Rutherford discovered that the nucleus of the atom contains positive protons. احنا قلنا Rutherford who discovered that. طبعا yes. Rutherford is the scientist who discovered that the nucleus of the element or the nucleus of the atom contains positively charged protons. طيب ice crystals have round shape. احنا قلنا ice crystals have round shape and small volume. احنا قلنا ice crystals they have a hexagonal shape with a large spaces or with a large volume. So this sentence is wrong. During electrolysis of acidified water. قلنا يعني acidified water يعني water with a small drops of acid to make the water good conductor of electricity as pure water is a bad conductor of electricity. يبقى during electrolysis of acidified water the volume of evolved gas above the anode اللي هو الأكسجين is half the volume of evolved gas above the cathode اللي هو الهيدروجين. طبعا this is right. Water density decreases on freezing. This is right. قلنا ال water when it change into ice state أو solid state اللي بيحصل the water molecules form hexagonal ice crystals with a large volume. وأدام الفوليوم بتاع البارتيكلز أو الفوليوم بتاع الموليكيولز increase فأكيد ال density بيحصل لها decreases. So the water density decrease on freezing. This is right. Chemical pollution of water causes many diseases such as typhoid and hepatitis. طبعا wrong. Instead of chemical pollution we are going to use biological pollution. Biological pollution of water who is causes the many diseases like bilharzia, typhoid and hepatitis. So this question is wrong. طيب complete the following chemical equations. The first one 2Na plus what giving 2NaOH plus H2. طيب once ان انا اشوف OH و H فبديهي هيكون عندي هنا the Na is reacting with water, water. So we are going to add H2O and we added 2 here to be or to make the equation here is balanced. يعني balanced يعني the number of atoms entering the chemical reaction equal the number of atoms resulting from the reaction. تمام. فهنا في عندي 2Na وهنا 2Na. هنا 4 hydrogen وهير أنا عندي 2 hydrogen و2 يبقى 4 hydrogen. Here we have 2 oxygen and here we have 2 oxygen. So the equation here is balanced. طيب 2K plus 2H2O it giving what؟ احنا قلنا ال H2O is divided into OH و H. فال K هيحصل لها combination مع ال OH والهيدروجين gas evolves ف it giving 2 KOH plus H2. تمام. وبرضو we added 2 here and 2 here with 2 to make the equation balanced. طيب 2Mg plus O2 it giving MgO. طيب to make it balance you have to add 2 before MgO you have to add 2. فبالتالي هيكون عندي 2Mg وهنا برضو هيكون 2Mg. هنا O2 وهنا we have 2 oxygen atoms فبالتالي الايكويشن بتاعتي is balanced. طيب Mg plus 2HCl الMg هيرياكت مع الCl مع الكلورين والهيدروجين جاز هيحصل له it evolves and burn with a pop sound. فهنا MgCl2 plus H2. طب الايكويشن is balanced. yes هنا عندي واحدة Mg وهنا 2Cl وهنا Cl2. هنا عندي 2 hydrogen وهنا 2 hydrogen. so the chemical equation here is balanced. طيب number 5 what plus what giving H2CO3. طيب CO3 once أنا بشوف CO3 معناها أن أنا كان عندي كربون دايوكسيد جاز و H2 و O فهيكون عندي مين H2O اللي هي الووتر. فهنا CO2 plus H2O giving what H2CO3. طيب does the equation here is balanced. هنا عندي واحدة كربون هنا كربون 2 oxygen و 1 oxygen here so we have 3 oxygen atoms و 2 hydrogen. so here the equation is balanced. طيب number 6 here space plus space giving MgOH2. احنا قلنا once اني بشوف OH بعرف ان كان عندي مين water فهيكون MgO plus H2O. MgO magnesium oxide مع الووتر giving magnesium hydroxide اللي هي MgOH2. طيب give reason for the following elements of group 1A in the periodic table are called alkali metals. ليه بنسمي elements بتاعت group 1A alkali metals؟ قلنا because they react with water giving alkaline solutions. Again they dissolve in water أو they dissolve in water forming alkaline solutions. طيب sodium fires are not off with water. ليه مش بنطفي الحرائق بتاعت الصوديوم باستخدام الووتر؟ قلنا علشان الصوديوم react instantly with the water and hydrogen gas evolves that burn with a pop sound. تمام. so never ever put off the sodium fire with water. طيب ice floats on the water surface. give reason. ليه الايس بيعمل float on the water surface؟ قلنا because when the water freezes its density decreases فبالتالي the density of ice is less than the density of water so it float on the water surface. وبكده تكون خلصت حلقتنا النهارده واتمنى ان انتم تكونوا استفدتوا معانا ونكون راجعنا على كم كبير من الاسئله النهارده وان شاء الله الحلقات الجايه هنبتدي نراجع على انواع جديده من الاسئله واشوفكم المره الجايه ان شاء الله.